the go. This is Valley News Live at 9 on Fargo CW.
We're starting with a warmer stretch this week, but that could be changing quite a bit as we work toward the weekend. Robert, we're all wondering if we're going to see any chance for rain or storms coming up in the next couple hours, days. What's going on?
Tonight, it's going to be another quiet night. It's still kind of warm out there in many locations as we take a live look outside on the CorwinAuto.com Valley Skycam, part of the Storm Team Skycam network. We've got virtually cloudless skies, just a few high clouds streaming on through from time to time. Current temperature, we're down to 67 degrees now. Winds out of the southeast at 7 miles per hour. Those winds will remain light overnight tonight. 61 in Langdon, 67 in Devil's Lake. It's a little cooler off toward the east. Mid-50s, 55 in Bemidji, 57 over in the Wadena area. Winds picking up just a bit out of the south. They're going to stay on the light side tonight, but they're really going to crank up out of the south tomorrow. That's going to help us warm on up into the 80s and even some 90s. There are those few high clouds streaming on through, and with just a few high clouds out there, no precipitation to worry about. A lot of green on the radar, just a bit of interference with our local area radar domes. Northern Plains quiet, no precipitation out there. So we zoom on out to the national map. We've got some showers and thunderstorms off towards the west, and one severe thunderstorm warning there in central California. And there is Irma, as of the last advisory, still a tropical storm, minimal at 45 mile per hour peak winds. But out in the Atlantic, there's Irma, there is Jose, peak winds at 100 miles per hour. Anticipated to weaken slowly over the next few days, but then start to re-intensify as he makes a loop out in the Atlantic. And some models, unfortunately, have Jose approaching the U.S. in a week and a half or so, but it's a long way out. A lot of models also have him turning out to sea. So we'll keep an eye on Jose as we head through the next several days. For us, quiet conditions will continue. We'll see those overnight lows dipping down mainly into the 50s, but those few areas that are already down into the 50s off toward the east, so we may see some upper 40s in that area. Now, as we head through the day tomorrow, we'll start off with lots of sunshine, and we're going to continue with lots of sunshine, and those winds, they'll start to pick up out of the south, 10 to 20 miles per hour, some stronger gusts, highs in the 80s and 90s. That 90 in Fargo, if we get there, that would tie a record high set back in 1952. As we head through the evening hours, a slow cool down, still in the 70s in most areas, even at 10 o'clock. Here in Fargo, we'll start off the day into the mid-50s by lunchtime. We're going to warm it on up already in the low 80s, and those winds cranking on up as well. Lots of sunshine out there throughout the day. We're going to see a bit of smoke and haze throughout the day as well, so keep that in mind. Windy conditions, 90 degrees by your 5 o'clock hour. Picture of the day, a flock of seagulls at Kelly Slough, a National Wildlife Refuge. Thanks so much to David for sending that, and going to use that as the backdrop to our 7-day forecast. And yeah, 90 on Tuesday, not a whole lot cooler on Wednesday with a chance for a few showers, and then the rain chances show up. 70s with a good chance for showers and storms Thursday and Friday, 60s over the weekend. And right now it looks like the better chance of rain is on Saturday.
You know, it's hard to complain when you see a 90 on our weekly forecast. We know that winter is coming.
Yeah, it doesn't happen a whole lot in September. That's why potential record high tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll have to keep our eye on that.
You got it.
Thanks, Robert.
So when you ask the government to be more responsible, when you ask them to listen to you and give inputs and call us and email us, nothing. We don't listen a bit.
Paying more money in property taxes after tense and frustrated comments from people living in Fargo. The City Commission passes the 2018 budget with support of all but one commissioner. Valley News Team's Cornelius Hawker was there and shares with us what you need to know now moving forward.
It amounts to $115.37 extra a month for me. In our house, we use cash envelope system. So it would mean either my gas is gone, my dining out money is gone, my clothing money for my kids is gone.
Juliet Fichtner was one of more than a dozen people who questioned their increased property taxes.
We bought our house 5 years ago for about $120,000. We are being assessed for $182,300. We do not feel that our house is worth that.
Some city commissioners and the mayor suggested the state was mostly to blame for these marked increases.
The last 3 sessions of the legislature, they promised us that they were going to reform property taxes. They kept promising that they were going to reform it. And what's happened instead, they used the oil money to buy down our property taxes, which is the easiest thing to do, but it wasn't the most courageous thing to do.
The tax-related frustration came as city leaders tried to finalize a spending plan, one that Commissioner Tony Gehrig says includes ways for the city to save you money.
If we accept all of these, we can lower your bill by 10%, or your city portion of your bill by 10%. So I'll make a motion to cut the Link FM.
Did you make a motion to have all those things? Or just
Nope, just Link FM.
Link FM. Is there a second? Hearing no second, motion dies for lack of a second.
I make a motion to move our unallocated from $600,000 to $1.1 million.
Gehrig, however, came up short trying to get the city to tighten its belt further.
Roll call vote, please.
Gehrig?
No.
Grinberg?
Aye.
Strand?
Yes.
Pepcorn?
Aye.
Mahoney?
Aye.
And despite people leaving frustrated, the city of Fargo has a new budget.
Your city officials aren't as concerned about your personal future as they are theirs.
That was Valley News Team's Cornelius Hawker reporting. Now, people can still contact the city assessor's office, and they will come out to reassess your home's value, which might lower your taxes. The boyfriend of a murdered Fargo woman says DNA results confirm a baby found after his girlfriend, Savannah Graywin, disappeared is in fact his child. Ashton Matheny tells Valley News Live today that he received the test results from Cass County Social Services, and they confirmed that what police had already suspected. Matheny says legal custody of the baby has not yet been awarded, but that he is hopeful that will happen soon. He said the baby has been in his care since last Wednesday. Matheny and Graywin named the baby girl Hazley Jo. Savannah Graywin disappeared on August 19th. Her body was found in the Red River north of Fargo about a week later. Two people, William Hain and Brooke Cruz, have been charged in her disappearance and death. Fargo's Civil Service Commission is set to once again take up the firing of a police officer this week. David Belke is appealing to the commission after being fired for dereliction of duty. After more than 5 hours of testimony on Friday, the hearing was recessed. It will resume Wednesday at 5:30 at City Hall. Belke was fired after a lengthy investigation that found, among other things, he had not filed reports, lacked empathy, and was disrespectful toward the department. The Detroit Lakes Police Department needs your help finding and identifying a man and a woman allegedly involved in a theft case. Take a look. The Detroit Lakes Police Department posted these photos on its Facebook page from the alleged theft that happened on September 1st. But after noticing the security camera, the two then began to pose multiple times. So if you recognize either one, call the Detroit Lakes Police Department at 218-846-3204. Jury selection is scheduled next week for the North Dakota man accused of attempted murder in a shooting in Breckenridge. 28-year-old Matthew Allard of Wahpeton is accused of shooting Isaac Herrera in the stomach during an argument last December at a home. Allard was arrested at the next day at a mobile home in Wahpeton. He is facing 5 felony counts. The Daily News says jury selection is set on September 19th in Wilkin County District Court. 9/11 is a day that we will continue to be remembering, as both for the lives lost and the bravery of those who rushed in to rescue people involved in the attacks at the Twin Towers, the Pentagon, and a plane that crashed in a Pennsylvania field. People gathered on Veterans Memorial Bridge earlier today to honor the memory of those lost and wounded. The laying of a wreath and the somber tone of this event are also reminders of the threats our nation faces every day. The attacks left nearly 3,000 dead and another 6,000 injured. And in remembrance of this historic day, American flags are flying at half-staff on state properties to honor those killed in those September 11th terrorist attacks. Governor Doug Burgum encourages North Dakota residents to do the same with their flags. We drove around Fargo and saw a number of flags drop down. Governor Mark Dayton made the same declaration for U.S. flags in Minnesota. CB trains will be able to travel faster along certain stretches of rail line beginning September 20th. Safety upgrades will allow Canadian Pacific to modify the speeds in parts of North Dakota. The upgrades on the rail corridor between Valley City and Emmerich will allow them to increase train speeds from 49 miles per hour to 60 miles per hour. Officials say the increased track speeds are the result of installing a centralized traffic control signaling system. And pheasant numbers in the Dakotas are down to some of the lowest levels on record. Biologists say the drop is blamed largely on the worst drought to hit the states in decades. North Dakota's roadside pheasant survey, conducted in late July and August, showed the number of birds is down 61% from last year. A similar survey in South Dakota shows numbers are down about 45%. Cara Mund of Bismarck is now a national sensation and the first Miss America ever from North Dakota. This after taking home the crown last night in Atlantic City, New Jersey. We tried to reach out to her today, but as you can imagine, she has a full schedule. Mund will now travel the country to promote her personal platform of Make-A-Wish, the Miss America's organization platform of the Children's Miracle Network, and attend various events throughout the year. We caught up with her on North Dakota Today about her road to the crown back in August. And when we asked Mund what she was most excited about for the competition, here's what she had to say.
Just represent North Dakota really well. I think we're often overlooked, and I want this to be the year that we're the first Miss America from this state.
How about that? North Dakota Senator John Hoeven also recognized Mund today on the Senate floor for her historic win. Mund, by the way, served as an intern in Hoeven's office over the summer. Nobel Prize winning musician and songwriter Bob Dylan and his band are coming to his home state to play the Xcel Energy Center on October 25th. Tickets go on sale this Friday at noon, and they're available online or you can get them over the phone. Tickets are priced at $52, $89, or $129, plus some fees. The most recent legs of Dylan's so-called never-ending tour have been the band through parts of Europe and Canada before relaunching in the U.S. this past June. Irma's aftermath, the deadly